Sorry. Woo! Yes. Hey, I'm the Malt Activist, and I have a fantastic little whiskey for you. This is the Glenfarclas 105 Cask Strength. Now, as you can see from this bottle, this is not your regular Glenfarclas that they've just bottled yesterday. No, this is something special. This is from I think the early 2000s that it's been bottled, making it probably distilled in somewhere around the early 90s. And normally the 105 has an age statement of 10 years old, but this one doesn't, which is strange because I thought they only did that recently, but apparently not. So this is the 105 cask strength. That means it's bottled at 60% ABV. Yeah, packs a pretty punch. And before you think that this is watered down ABV, no, this is cask strength, which means that there's been a fair amount of cask manipulation and blending in order to get that perfect 60% into this bottle. And I gotta tell you, this is one of my favorites. So let's get ourselves a glass. Have a look at that. Yeah, such a deep chocolate bronze. This is all natural color, no chill filtration, this is what you get. Oh, so good. So I know I start almost every single video by saying I'm a huge fan of this distillery, but I am a huge fan of this distillery, and I have a particular a soft spot for it as well because I visited it in Speyside with a bunch of my close friends, and we had a lovely tasting called the 5 Decades tasting, where we sampled whiskeys from the 60s, the 70s, the 80s, the 90s, and the noughts. So that was an absolutely breathtaking experience, and just so happy that I was managed to drink something of so much note. So which brings me to this 105. It was the first Glenfarclas that I've ever tried. Yes, I know, dove off of the deep end, but there's something about high strength sherried whiskeys that I really, really like, and so the Glenfarclas, the 105 really ticked all the boxes. Now, I'm not 100% sure. I don't know the time frame that the 105 came with an age statement of 10 years old. So if you do know, please let me know in the comments below. I was so sure that they very recently done that, but it seems like they've done it a long time ago, given this old bottle that I have. I say old, it's probably bottled like 14, 15 years ago. Yes, this is the time when sherried whiskeys were done right all across Speyside and Highland. No off notes like you find today, nothing tainted with sulfur. Just hitting all the right notes. And belies its 60% strength. You would think that it's coming up and singeing my nose hair, but it's not. It's a bit sharp in the beginning. You can get the alcohol, but it's still so smooth and creamy. It's like smelling Coca-Cola, but a nice Coca-Cola, a Coca-Cola that doesn't make you fat. Coffee notes. There's dark chocolate. There's hazelnuts and walnuts, and a tobacco pouch, spent cigar box, cinnamon, chocolate, cinnamon cake, rum toffee, butterscotch. You know what I mean? It's just, and I miss the days when whiskeys were so beautifully crafted. Because if you try the new 105 now, it's not a very good whiskey, you know. I think it's getting younger and younger, so it has a slight edge to it which doesn't work. Sometimes it's overly sherried, sometimes it's overly oaked, and I think they try to do that to hide its age somehow, so you get these very active and fast maturations, and then they're bottled, and they don't do justice to the legacy. That's the 105. Yeah, starts to mellow out a little bit, a little more earthy as well. So overall, just top-notch nose. Not a single wrong note here. Wonderful sherry. I like it. Sorry. Woo. Yes. As you would expect. Really big delivery. Super spicy. The high alcohol strength just grabs your palate and then just kicks it into submission. But it's a sweet submission. You know what I'm saying? There's this nice chocolate and caramel and coffee beans. The finish has a nice, a cigar box spent tobacco feel to it. The spices are there, but they're more, they're very woody. You know, there's an extremely dry cinnamon, extremely dry nutmeg. The delivery is somewhat thinner than I thought it might be. I thought it'd be more fuller and viscous on my mouth, but it's not. It's sort of medium to thin. But then, you know, I think the big burst of flavors kind of compensates for that. So, yes, the second sip, a lot more palatable, only because I think my tongue has gone completely numb. It's actually more savory than my first sip, and now I tend to believe that's a little more savory than I thought it would be. So the chocolate is darker, the coffee is roasted, the tobacco is drier. There's some old leather there as well on the palate, which is such an unfair flavor profile. You know, who tastes old leather? I know, very pretentious of me, but hey, you know, this is how I imagine if I decide to chew on an old, well-worn leather belt. This is what it would taste like. But you know what I'm talking about. So I think this is a little homage to a bygone era of good whiskey making. I love the old school label of this bottle. It's so it's so vintage. Even though it's like 15-16 years old, it seems like it belongs to another time when they made good whiskeys. And I'm not a huge fan of very modern labels and trying to fit in with the younger audience. I prefer my old school traditions, if you like. So I don't know. I think you can buy this particular bottle. Look out for this label. And again, if you have any more information on the bottle code, or when what circa do you think this bottle was filled, then please do let me know. I'd be eternally grateful. And so yes, thank you for joining me for this whiskey review. I'm the Malt Activist. Until next time, peace.